Witam na drugiej części dzisiejszego dnia. Prosimy wszystkich o zajęcie miejsc. Pierwsza prezentacja będzie po angielsku. So first talk will be in English and will be given by José Maluenda. He will tell us about artistic project, Sculpture as a Cloud. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. I will start, and I need to make it quickly because I put the first question is from permanent object to the process of transformation. This is the first. This is an investigation, a personal investigation in art that I am started this year. And I used the Krakow space to do that. It's that's when you start. It's I use the clouds because I am an abstract artist, and I use the clouds like this kind of object that you have in front and speak about abstract things. It's impossible to touch, it's impossible to handle, because it's all the time it changes. This question is how to make a sculpture as a cloud. I don't know if you try to make the exercise, to try to draw in the clouds. It's impossible because when you try to drawing, of course, you can make the photograph, but if you try to draw in, it's possible because it's all the time changes. And this question is how to make the same with the sculpture. The sculpture from centuries has been understood as a physical object that depends of the weight, of the size, the material, the location, no? And also the things of original remains. And the main question is, can the sculpture exist not as a fixed object, but as a process of continuous transformation, like a cloud? Like the physical matter, from physical matter, digital data, and new matter. Here is the form, no, how the sculpture has a process. And this is the matter, an image and data. And this is the transformation. The thing is so simple. You need only to put your model in front of you, make multiple angles, photographs. You don't need like this 3D scan, nothing more. It's only to make, the software is developed now that you need only to have the conditions, cloudy day, or at the end of the day, you make the photos, and at the end you have the 3D model. Yes, the research has what makes a sculpture remain the same sculpture if now it can have many states, because the state of the sculpture is just not the object, it's a digital file, and you have the new object after the reproduction. When does a sculpture start being the same? The sculpture is defined not only by the physical object, but also as a process of transformation that connects with different forms. And why the clouds? The cloud is used as form. That's, I don't want to imitate the clouds as an image. This is not the objective. That's it's a reflection. And also a poetical examples to how can exist without fixes or final image or purpose. A cloud is always changes and dissolving and reforming, and identity emerge. Yeah. And here is seems quite parallel, like the clouds. You know, the sculpture is an object, cloud is a process, stable, changes. The mass and phenomena, and when the sculpture Entonces, now instead what whether sculptures can exist at the same way as a cloud. And here is yeah. I made some experiments. Yeah, the experiment are that I'm doing. Of course, the question is so big now, and the experiment are only examples, and this is one I want to show you now. The first experiment was to use the plastilene with other materials to make the structure, but the most important aspect of that is the original model is destroyed at the end. The same plastilene is used again to make another model and reuse and make the second and so on. This is important not to use these little things to can scan at the end, because I use a tripod, and it's important these things, you know, to have at one point to connect with the tripod and not have any problem to make the scan. And now, yeah, that is the final, and of course the most important. Now I need to destroy it. It's also the destruction is also another important thing, no? Because it's not the ending in that. It's not the ending. The sculpture is not ending in this object. The most important thing here is the file. There are examples here. That this one. This is one I printed. There's the second example. Another one. Another. This was printed, and yeah, that's. And also, it's important how that. Yeah, this video can every object that I'm doing, you can use in different. I have all the time multiple. It's not one position. Yeah, this can have 3 or 4 positions at the same time, and it can. Yeah, this is the way. No? This is the last example in this the last experiment in this way. Of course, of this. I am architect, and all the time this is a reflection. When you made this sculpture, you are seeing in the space, how the space, and you don't have any idea to this object don't have a part of the form itself. It's a problem itself. No, that is resolved with the same shape that the object produced. This is another one, the 6th. Here I have the second experiment. This second experiment is made with scotch and plaster and wire. Here the form is more linear. No, it's not less mass and more. Yeah, I need to make this. The structure is doing with this point welder, and after that, the process is with tape, and is sanding with gypsy and glue. No, that is the material that is mixed at the end. This, of course, there is an original model that's remained, but the most important here is the scan at the end. Here the process. I have only two sculptures in this line. This is the first one. The importance of that, it's like the scale. No, this is a tiny object. No, but when you put it on inside the computer, you can make whatever you want. You can change the scale, you can change color, you can change material, but it remains the files. No, this is the most important in the project. How's the Here is another one, the second. That is so similar to the first. And here I have with the third, that is only lineal things, and there is no mass. The third experiment was not. I couldn't scan it because that's only. I use only branch. Yeah, of course that is not ending as I wanted. But to connect with the clouds, I use this dress, this plastic dress, and this is the way to connect with the another, and also to to put it into the project. Yeah, now in the video is this connection with the sculpture, with the dress of plastic, and also without the dress, and how the plastic is connected with the clouds. Yeah, because plastic have the movement, and branches remains stable. Yeah, I need to go faster. The sculpture process. Now the matter becomes form becomes an image, the image becomes data, the data becomes a new form. And the work does not have to end when the physical object is finished. It remains open to the future transformation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, at the end of the presentation, there is some images now that you can do like a render, You can make 2D models with this image. You can use different scales. And of course, you can make, you can use the mesh inside the computer to make some other things. This is not a complex program. It's only Blender. And there's some renders, different scales. Yes, more. Yeah, the end now is reproduction and the original, which is the most important. The physical object, the digital file, and reproductions. Yeah, some conclusions. The conclusion is the clouds become a model for understanding a sculpture as a changes process rather than a fixed object. A sculpture can move through different states and without any stage became final. The digital files allow the transformation to continue, connecting matter, image, and data. The research, therefore, might create a sculpture that behave like clouds, are able to change, more reproduce, disappears and reappear while maintaining its identity. Like a cloud, the sculpture can never fix it. It's transformed, must disappear and reappear, while remain part of the same process.
Thank you for that great presentation. Applause once again.